Good morning, children. Today I'm going to start the term 2 portion, children. And in today's session I'm going to take science for 6th standard. That is lesson 3, changes around us. So those who have the book, you can take page number 32. So those who don't have the book, you can buy the books, children. Books are available in our school. So buy it. So we'll start with the lesson that is changes around us, page number 33. Now first you can observe the pictures in the previous page and fill in the gaps they have given, children. See here. That is initial change and the changing stage. That is initial stage, initial and the changing stage. First they have given seed. That is what is the changing there? Seed change into saplings, okay, to a plant. The next change they have given night. So what is it? The initial state, morning, right? And then raw fruit. Raw fruit changing into a ripening fruit, okay. So these we can feel the changes they have given, that is initial stage and the final stage. Now what is common in all the above pairs they have, that is initial change, that is earlier stage changing into the final stage. So these are the changes we saw. Now what is the change? The process in which something becomes different from that it was earlier. So from the earlier changing into a different, that is final stage, is known as a change. Now it is the observable difference between the initial stage and the final stage of any substance, that is from the initial stage to the final stage there is a change. So now change is the law of the nature. So change is the law of nature. Okay, children, change is the law of nature. Now in our day-to-day life, we see many changes around us. Whether changes periodically, that is daily, or seasonally. Periodically, that is daily we can see, or seasonally we can find. Season changes periodically. A paper burns readily when it takes a few days for an iron nail to rust. Okay, that is a paper burns readily. Okay, paper as soon as we burn, it burns fully and changes into ash. But for an iron nail, if you take it rust and it takes few days to rust. Okay, so there is a changes. So that is paper burns quickly and changes into ash. And this few days, the iron nail changes into a rust and it takes few days to rust. So it takes a few hours for milk to turn into curd. But vegetables cook soften in a few minutes when cooked. That is, if you take a milk. So if you have to put curd, what happens? We are keeping a milk and we are keeping it for few hours to change into curd. That is, it takes few hours to change. But as the vegetables were cooked, it is softened in a few minutes. Okay, there's a changes. That is, milk changes into curd. It takes few hours, and the vegetables when it is cooked, it is in a very short time. It is cooked. Then what happens during a change? That is accompanied by change in the properties. What are the properties you can find, like shape, color, temperature? Okay, so these are the different properties: shape, color, temperature, like this, and the position, composition. All these are the properties you can see. Now some changes can be observed while some are not possible to notice. So some properties we can see, we can observe means we can see, but some we cannot observe it properly. So you can list some of the changes that you can observe in your daily life. Now first you see classification of changes. There are different types of changes that occur around us. Okay children, what are the different types of changes are there? That is, some changes take place very quickly while others take hours, days or even years. So some changes very quickly, even it takes hours to change, or even days or even years to change. So some changes are temporary while others are permanent. So maybe temporary, permanent means for always. Okay, so there are changes temporary as well as a permanent. Some changes produce new while others do not. Some are natural while others are human beings. That is, natural means ear case human beings, that is man-made. Some changes are desirable but some changes are not desirable. Now we shall now try to classify changes on the basis of similarities and differences. Now they have given slow and fast change, reversible and irreversible, physical and chemical, desirable and undesirable, natural and man-made changes. Now if we take slow changes first, slow changes that takes place over a long period of time, romba nera irukku illaya, the slow change, that is hours, days, months, years, all these are slow changes. Slow change romba mollama aagudhu illaya, so for adu vandu hours aagalam, days aagalam, even months, even years it could happen. That is called as a slow change. For example, growth of nail and your hair, okay, change of seasons and the germination of seeds. So these are the examples you can give. Then fast, which takes within a short period of time, within seconds or minutes. Okay, fast changes can take even within a short period of time. This is called as a fast changes. And for this examples you can give bursting of balloon, bursting of balloon you can say, then breaking of glass, then bursting of firecrackers and burning of paper. So these are the fast changes. The next is the irreversible and irreversible change. First we saw about now slow and fast we finish. Slow and fast. So next we are going to see reversible and irreversible. Okay children, now this we are going to see now. So now reversible changes which can be reversed, okay, are known as the reversible. That is, reversible means it get back to the original state. Okay, first நம்ம எப்படி ஆரம்பிக்கிறோமோ திருப்பி நம்ம அதே ஒரிஜினல் ஸ்டேட்க்கு கொண்டு வரது ரிவர்சிபிள் சேஞ்ச். ஓகே, ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் டச் மீ நாட் பிளான், தொட்டா சுருங்கி இருக்கு இல்லையா, அது அப்படி எப்படி இருக்கும் ஃபர்ஸ்ட்டு, அது தொட்டு பார்த்தோம்னா அது எப்படி ஆகும், திருப்பி அகைன் இட் கம் பேக் டு த ஒரிஜினல் ஸ்டேட் இல்லையா. ஸோ the stretching of a rubber band, now you are having a rubber band in your hand, you are stretching the rubber band, again what happens, it comes with same its original position. So these are the reversible change we can say. Then irreversible changes which cannot be reversed and which cannot get back to the original state are known as a irreversible. That is, reversible, what I said, it comes back to its original position. Now in irreversible, it does not come back to its original position, is known as a irreversible. For example, change of milk into curd. So we are changing that is milk into curd. Again, does it come back to the again milk? No. So it is a irreversible change. Curd na curd da. Thiruppi adha vandu milk ah vandu nama adha maatha mudiyadhu illaya. So it is a irreversible change. Then digestion of food. So digestion takes inside your stomach. Then making idli from beta. So beta lende nama eppadi maavu lende nama idli seirom illaya. So again, can you bring back to the same to the beta? No. So it is a irreversible change. Now next we are going to go to the physical and the chemical change. Physical and chemical change. Now that is, physical changes are the temporary change in which there is a change in the physical appearance or the physical state but not into a chemical composition. So physical changes, that is only in the physical appearance or the physical state, is called as a physical change. Here no new substance is formed in the physical change. For example, melting of ice, okay, it's a temporary. Then solution of salt or sugar or stretching of a rubber band, it's only a physical change. Now let us now understand the physical change that takes place in water. Now you already know that water exists in three, that is liquid, solid, liquid and gas. Okay, solid, liquid and gas. Okay children, now change of states takes place either by heating or cooling. Now by heating, energy is supplied, and by cooling, energy is taken away. So when you heat, what happens? Energy, you get energy, and when cooling, the energy is taken away. So these are the reasons for the changes. Now if you can see this picture, see here, three beakers are there, that is filled with water. Now heating, next what they are doing? Cooling. Okay, that is ice, then water, that's in a liquid state, and then steam, it's in a gas state, that is solid, liquid and gas. Okay children, that is ice changing into liquid, that is water. Water again when it is heated, it turns into, that is evaporation, that is gas, and again when it is cool down, what happens? It changes in liquid. Again the liquid, when it is freeze, it becomes a ice. So there is a change in the solid, liquid and gas, change of water. Now see here, the tabular column is given change and process, that is ice into water on heating. Ice into water on heating they have given, that is what are the changes we are going to see. Change and process, that is ice into water on heating, you get heating, and what is the process there? Melting. and then water into steam. Water into steam, that is vaporization, evaporation. Okay, vaporization. And next, that is steam into water. Steam into water. First we saw ice into water, right children? Ice into water, that is melting. And again water into steam, that is vaporization. Again steam into water, you get condensation. And then what happens? Then water again into ice. Water into ice, that is cooling. Okay children, did you understand this? What are the changes and the process here? So ice into water, the process is melting. And then again water if you into steam, that is vaporization, evaporation. Then steam into water, condensation. Again water into ice, it is cooling. So this is a process children. Okay. Now the change of state from solid to gas directly is called as a sublimation. So yeah, what is sublimation? Change of solid into gas. Change of solid to gas directly is called sublimation. Okay children. Now next we are going to go to the dissolution. As the spreading of solid particles from the liquid is called as a dissolution. So we finish this. So we are going to go to the dissolution. That's the spreading of solid to the liquid is called as a dissolution. Next is a solvent. So what is the solvent you are going to see? So solvent is a substance that dissolves. Dissolve means mixes. Okay, dissolves a solute. Dissolves the solute. Now what is a solute? So solute we have given here. Now what is solute here? Solute that is dissolved in a solvent to make a solution. Dissolves in solvent to make solution. Okay children, so what is dissolution? That is solid into a liquid is called as a breaking of solid into a liquid is called a dissolution. Solvent that is dissolving in the solute is called as a solvent, and solute that is dissolves in the solvent to make a solution. So for this is easily you can give, that is, then when solute is dissolved in a solvent it forms a solution. Now what is solution? That is solute dissolves in solvent, it is called as a solution. So solute plus solvent gives solution. Did you understand the solution? That is solute plus solvent gives you solution. Now do you know is given here what is known as a universal solvent. So what is universal solvent children? Universal solvent. So water is a universal solvent. That is, it dissolves a wide range of substance. It dissolves a wide range of substance. So it is known as a universal solvent. Next we will go to the chemical changes. Now, chemical changes are the permanent changes in which there is a change in the chemical. For physical changes, I said only the physical state or physical appearance can be changed, not the chemical composition. But in the chemical changes, there is a change in the chemical composition and a new substance informs. In the physical state that I said, there is no chemical change or no new substance. But in the chemical change, what happens? There is a change in the composition and the new substance is also formed. That is burning of wood, popping of popcorn, then blackening of silver ornaments, or silver ornaments which you use like anklet or a silver chain or the ring, so it changes into black, right? So these are the blackening of silver ornaments and rusting of iron. Thurupidikkiradhu iron irukilla adnala starting paakradhu pala pradava poga adu enna agum adu rust aga aarambichirum illaya thurupidikka aarambichirum. That is rusting of iron. So there is a changes in the composition and no new substance is formed from that. Okay, now the change is given here. See a physical change, no new substance is formed. Physical chemical, that is no new substance. Here in the physical, chemical, new substance is formed, I said, and in that no change in the chemical composition, no change in chemical composition, and there is a change in chemical composition in the chemical change in the chemical composition, and there is only a temporary change in the physical, and here in the chemical there is a permanent change, that is it cannot come to its original state, that is permanent change, and it is reversible and it is irreversible. Okay children, so these are the points, that is physical change and chemical change. So once again I'll tell you, that is no new substance is formed in the physical change, and in the chemical you can see new substance forming, and then no change in the chemical composition, and there is a change in the chemical composition. In the physical there is a temporary, and in the chemical there is a permanent change, and in the physical there is a reversible, and in chemical irreversible. Now the pictures are given there children, that is look at the pictures and write whether they are physical and chemical. So if you have understood this lesson, you can easily find out and write children. This is your homework you have to do. Same way, desirable and undesirable, 4 pictures are given, you have to write. First I'll make you understand what is desirable and undesirable change. Now first, if you take the desirable, the changes which are useful and not harmful, that is safe to our environment and desired by us, are known as desirable changes. That is, so I think you have understand the solute, solvent, solution and all children. Now next is I am going to tell you about the desirable and the undesirable. So desirable and undesirable changes. The changes are useful and not harmful, I said, that is very safe to our environment. And for example, ripening of fruit, okay, ripening, then growth of the plants, growing of the plants, cooking of food, milk changing into curd, all these are desirable and it's safe to the environment and it's not harmful. Then undesirable, that is harmful and not desired by us. For example, deforestation, then decaying of the fruit, okay, decaying of the fruit, decaying of fruit and rusting of wine, which is very harmful. So desirable means which is very safe to our environment and not harmful, and if we take undesirable, it is very harmful to our environment, these changes. Okay, now next is a natural and man-made they have given. That is natural changes which takes place in nature, on their own and beyond the control of human beings. For example, flood, the rain, it is beyond our control. If we the rain control the flood control the cyclone control. So these are the natural, so it is beyond our control. Then this is known as a natural change. Example, rotation of the earth, changing of the phases of the moon, rain, as I said, all these are the natural changes. Now human-made or man-made or the artificial changes we can say. The changes which are brought by human beings, that is man-made, are known as a human-made or the artificial changes, and they will not happen on their own, that is the man-made. For example, cooking, it's a man-made cooking. Then deforestation, then cultivation of crops, growing of crops, then construction of buildings it is made by man, okay, man-made, human beings. So all these are the examples of the human-made. Okay children, so this is the lesson we saw about the changes around us. So we saw the classification of changes, in that we saw slow and fast changes, then irreversible and the irreversible change we saw, then physical and chemical changes, and what is the tabular column is about what are the changes, that is ice into water, that is melting, then water into steam, vaporization, steam into water, condensation, and water into ice, it is freezing. So this we saw. Then that is the tabular column we saw about that. Then what are the physical changes and chemical changes? What is the difference we saw? That is no new substance is formed, no change in the chemical. Here in the chemicals, chemical composition is changed. Then it's temporary change, permanent change, and the physical it's reversible, and in the chemical change it is irreversible. So there's the page number 36 and 37, and the pictures are there children, that you have to write what changes are there. It's your homework. Then desirable and undesirable I gave to you, the natural and man-made. Okay children, then points to remember they have given, that is everything in this world undergoes changes. Changes occur in position, shape, size, state, color, temperature, composition, etc. Then fast change, short period of time, slow change, long period of time, Reversible, that is come back to its original state. Okay, what reversible? The reversible, what I said, that is it come back. For example, it's rubber band. If you stretch it, then again it come back to its original state. That is reversible. Then irreversible cannot go back to its original. That is rusting of iron. Then desirable, changes that are useful and harmless, that is safe to our environment. Then undesirable, which is harmful to our environment. Natural change that takes place in nature on their own. Human made or man made or even artificial change, we can say. Changes that are brought about by human beings. Then a solute which dissolves in solvent makes a solution, that is solute plus solvent gives you solution. The process of dissolving the solute in solvent is called dissolution. Okay children, so did you understand this? So in the next class, I'll give you the book back answers for this, children. Thank you.